I understand that you're Syrian. Why are you here today at the Tunisian embassy?
First of all, the human rights case, it's my case, whatever it was. In Syria and Tunisia and Egypt, all these countries, unfortunately, are ruled by dictatorial governments. And I believe what's going on in Tunisia now is very serious. And if the people manage to get their rights, to stop this corrupted government and to put an end for the corruption and human rights violation, that could maybe push the area in general to improve their human rights situation. And I'm here more to deliver a message for the U.S. government, actually, because the U.S. officials, they get back from vacation and everybody now in his office. Until now, it's been 3 weeks and nothing came out from State Department or from the White House, unfortunately, and that's very shameful. And I remember President Obama's speech in Cairo, and he promised we're going to stand for the voiceless. And we understand more stable countries, that the country is ruled by its own people, and which is not the case in Tunisia. Ben Ali doesn't really represent the real Tunisian people. So I'm here to show my sympathy and to be a supporter to the Tunisian, to the people who did in Tunisia for human rights, and to send a message to the U.S. government. They have to say something because that's very shameful.
Do you think that there's enough solidarity between, say, Arabs living in repressive regimes, or even just people around the world who live in these repressive regimes?
No, there's not enough, unfortunately. There's enough contributing between those governments when they send prisoners, they arrest them and send them to other countries. And unfortunately, human rights defenders and activists in frontline, they're not cooperating enough. And we have to improve our collaboration between human rights defenders and activists to manage to put an end for these practices.
And what about the American people? What can they do?
The American people can lobby their government. Like civil society in America is very strong, and they have lots of NGOs, and they can call their Congress members, and they can call the civil society groups and ask them to have something, to say something, to issue statements. And there's a U.S. embassy in Tunisia, there's a Tunisian embassy here in U.S., and that will be very helpful. Unfortunately, the Tunisian government has very high rates and rank, and they're very good relation with EU governments. Again, the EU governments, nobody said anything. And I believe if U.S., as always, says something at the first, all the EU government will follow and will say something about the human rights violation in Tunisia.